They say history is shaped by kings, generals, and revolutions. But sometimes the fate of nations can hinge on something far simpler: a single vote. One voice, one decision, one moment that seems ordinary until it isn't. Imagine casting a ballot and unknowingly holding the power to alter the course of the future. That's exactly what happened more than once in history. In moments so precarious that the outcome of an election, a treaty, or even a war rested on the narrowest of margins. Take the United States, presidential election of 1800. Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr found themselves in an electoral tie, each with exactly 73 votes. The entire country's destiny hung in the hands of the House of Representatives. For days, the nation teetered on the edge of chaos. Delegates cast ballot after ballot, over and over, locked in deadlock. Imagine the tension. Each vote counted like a heartbeat. One vote more, and Jefferson would become president. One vote less, and the fragile young democracy might have unraveled. It was the vote of a single representative, Abraham Baldwin of Georgia, that broke the tie. History would remember Jefferson as a founding figure of American democracy. Burr, forever cast as the man who almost was. That's the power of one. Across the Atlantic, centuries earlier, in the chaotic politics of medieval England, a single vote could mean life or death. During the 15th century, the Wars of the Roses raged between the houses of York and Lancaster. Edward IV's claim to the throne wasn't just decided by armies, but by allegiances. Crucially, councils of nobles whose votes determined legitimacy. One of these councils, convening in a candlelit hall, cast the deciding vote in Edward's favor, and suddenly the tide turned. The balance of power shifted overnight, and with it, the lives of thousands. Perhaps millions hung in the outcome. The lesson was clear. In moments of political upheaval, a single vote could tip the scales from stability to catastrophe, or the other way around. Even in the modern era, the phenomenon persists. In 1960, the US presidential race between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon was decided by razor-thin margins. Kennedy won the state of Illinois by just 8,858 votes, out of more than 4.7 million cast. It wasn't a single individual who changed history this time, but consider this. If only a handful more voters had made a different choice, the world might have seen Nixon in the White House instead, and the trajectory of the Cold War, the space race, and even civil rights legislation could have been entirely different. Sometimes history is almost laughably fragile. Perhaps one of the most dramatic examples occurred in the small, yet pivotal Kingdom of Canada during the 1925 federal election. The Liberals and Conservatives were locked in a stalemate, neither securing a clear majority. Parliament was forced to rely on the votes of independent members to form a government. One single vote, cast by a man named William Lyon Mackenzie King, would determine whether the Liberals retained power or whether a political upheaval would ensue. That vote kept King in office, setting in motion policies and decisions that would guide Canada through the looming shadows of the Great Depression and World War II. One vote, quietly cast, altered the destiny of an entire nation. Even outside the realm of politics, a solitary decision has reshaped culture and society. Consider the Academy Awards of 1930, when the first Best Picture award was given. Rumor has it that one final vote swung the award to All Quiet on the Western Front over other contenders. That single endorsement elevated the film to iconic status, influencing how generations would view war, cinema, and storytelling itself. The weight of one choice, almost invisible in the moment, reverberates through decades, changing perceptions, careers, and legacies. The drama of a single vote isn't just a quirk of history, it's a reminder of human unpredictability. a letter misdelivered, a coin flip in a precinct, a decision made in the quiet of a voting booth. These seemingly trivial moments have, again and again, shaped the trajectory of nations, art and society. We think of history as inevitable, as a tapestry woven by giants and heroes. Yet more often than we realize, it hangs by the most fragile of threads, individual choice. So, the next time someone tells you that your vote doesn't matter, remember Abraham Baldwin in 1801, Edward IV's council in medieval England, or the countless citizens whose narrow decisions tipped the scales in modern elections. History isn't just the story of the powerful, it's the story of the everyday person whose action, their single act, becomes a pivot point in the grand narrative of humanity. One vote, one voice, one choice. Sometimes that's all it takes to change the world. History whispers to us in these moments a quiet but persistent truth. Never underestimate the power of your decision. One ballot in the right or wrong, hands can echo through centuries, shaping lives, nations, and the course of the future in ways no one can predict. And perhaps that's the most humbling and inspiring lesson of all.